painted end zones, in men's football, and this is a little bit different, but they are closer than it would look at first glance.
And something you're seeing from the Knights, just getting people into space and trying to spread out that Wenonah defense, and they've been able to on this possession. Haley Dixon dropping back, dangerous pass, could have been intercepted. Unfortunately for Dixon, it was not. She had an intended receiver, but right in front of her was a Dragon defender.
Yeah, Yaley Dixon and the whole Catholic team so close here. We totally focused on getting it over that goal line, whatever it takes.
We'll call it 3rd down and goal from the 4. Good looking idea, but the pass sailing high and intended for Hayden Fitz, freshman wide receiver.
Yeah, I think Dixon wanted this one back just a little bit high.
Nice tight spiral. And good placement, just a little bit too far from the outstretched arms of Hayden Fitz. Now Montgomery Catholic will burn a timeout with 4 minutes, 16 seconds left. We do have a running clock. There will be stoppages in each of these halves, but you can't take the timeouts with you should the game go into overtime. And right now, I think probably a pretty good idea, because you're not going to have too many better looking opportunities for Montgomery Catholic for head coach Whitney Toole.
That's right. This is go time for them right now down here on the goal line. I like the communication I'm seeing among both of these teams on the field, and then even the way I've seen the plays being called in. Both of these teams seem very focused. They actually seem very calm. I think communication is key on both sides.
The two teams, Cedric Lane trying to come up. The defensive stop here on 4th down. That's how his team scored. And Montgomery Catholic trying to return the favor. As the Knights head back out after some last-second instructions from Whitney Toole, who you just saw, their head coach. Yaley Dixon out of the gun. She finds her favorite target. Guess who? Anna Russo. And it's a touchdown for the Knights.
What a play. What a catch there by Anna Russo.
We saw that play at least 3-4 times on that drive, and it was a shallow cross from Anna Russo, and the Dragons still have not found a solution in trying to stop her. And it's one of the reasons that Montgomery Catholic was not only able to navigate through the regular season, but through the playoffs. This is a 1-point conversion as they go from the 3. Pass is caught but shy of the goal line. And coming over to make the catch was Ann Cobb, but stepping out of bounds. So we're knotted at 6 with 3 minutes, 20 seconds
and
left in this first half.
We have a game on our hands here.
Certainly do. A lot of the Montgomery Catholic fans that have made their way as you take a look at Yaley Dixon, quarterback for the Knights. And that's what's so fascinating. This is such a young sport.
It is.
And a lot of these these girls learning, they play other sports, but learning it, and then to do it, to learn a sport and then compete at the highest level in this setting, it makes it so cool. And that's what's so awesome about showcasing all these great athletes.
That's right. You can see it on their faces.
Wenonah trying to get some more points. First down before the intermission. As you look at the last drive by Montgomery Catholic, and the way it started is the way it ended. And Anna Russo playing a big part, number 5 coming across your screen there. And the touchdown on 4th down. Pulled there at the goal line by Clark, but not before Russo had the ball across.
Gotta love the celebrations and those hugs.
The goal line, and now a timeout there on the field. They will put the ball spot down. It'll be second down. 2 minutes left, so they stop the clock. Wenonah going 4 wide. Now they'll shuffle a player out. Samarian Franklin. Next snap there. Going to Michaela Williams, but nobody fooled, especially number 13, and we've called her name several times. Wearing the white jersey, Jamie McGuire.
Yeah, Catholic knew exactly what to do with that one. May have surprised us up here, but no surprise to Catholic on the field.
McGuire, a junior, already with a handful of pulls here in this first half. Clock on the move. 1.5 minutes left. Now Cedric Lane gets his play in. Third down and a long way to go for the Dragons. Now Franklin thought about it, goes the other way, had a receiver open. And I believe that was Ringstaff, who caught the touchdown earlier, but that ball sailing just a bit high. And in the coverage, Haley Ishman, you see there in the center of your screen.
But, you know, Samarian Franklin, you know, fascinating and fun to watch. I mean, she can do it all, it seems. And at every snap, not quite sure what she's going to do.
Now Wenonah punting. That's Franklin already with a good punt from earlier. Ball fielded and returned. And some contact and splitting 2 defenders. One of the Montgomery Catholic Knights is down and slow to get up.
And we talk about this as a non-contact sport, but of course, inevitably on the football field, some contact happens.
2 teams fighting for a state championship, and you're right.
A lot of passion, a lot of emotion involved. And these girls, they're putting it all out here on the field.
A lot of passion with the students as well. Minute 3 seconds left. Montgomery Catholic, after answering and tying this game at 6, looking for more. Flag coming down in the backfield, thrown about 3 yards behind Haley Dixon, the Knights quarterback, as the ball fell harmlessly incomplete. We await the call. So there you get the call, Susan. Flag guarding.
Can't do it. You know, and you have to think that would be so hard.
It would be
naturally,
tough.
You know, would want to protect those flags, but can't do it.
Even if it's the most subtle of just an elbow, can't do it.
That's right.
And with good reason. Seems like it'd be hard enough to pull a flag when somebody is
You're exactly
running at full speed across the middle. Pass is complete. It's Russo once again, but her flag is pulled.
You know, and speaking of pulling flags, you know, when we talk about these multi-sport athletes, once again, from some things that I read, it seems that gymnasts are especially good at flag pulling because of the way that they have to learn to grip uneven bars and other things like that. So a lot of crossover here in these athletes.
Very interesting. Pass incomplete, broken up, and a good defensive play. Now another flag is pulled. Is coming over to try to make the catch. Ann Cobb, she was in traffic, and you see Jacaria Ringstaff serves as not only a wide receiver on the offensive side, but as a safety right there, and a little bit of contact and all in one. Both players hitting the ground, but she wanted to make sure that she pulled that flag.
Good defense there by Wenonah. I like to see it.
Not only pulling the flag, pulling the entire belt. Third down. Haley Dixon unable to come up with it. Coming back for the football was Kate Robertson. But the ball hitting the turf here inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. A fourth down coming up. 23 seconds remaining here in this first half.
So close there, but had to come back to the ball. That ball might have been tipped to the line. Let's look and see. Defender may have gotten a hand on it.
A good eye. End over end punt fielded inside the 25. Look at this.
Nice.
It's a touchdown on special teams for the Wenonah Dragons.
That's going to make the highlight reel.
Kiera Clark, one of the twins.
The Wenonah fans coming down out of the stands for that one. Let's see it again. I like the handoff.
Montgomery Catholic all selling out one way, and then you saw number 8 going the opposite way, and there was not a Knight within 15 yards as she got into a sprint there down the sideline. What a huge play on special teams for Cedric Lane and his Dragons.
I'm sure Coach Lane is proud of that one. That was beautifully designed, beautifully executed.
Timeout Wenonah as they'll draw it up. A 1-point after touchdown as they spot the ball. They're at the 3-yard line. Is Cedric Lane going to talk things over with his team leading 12-6? Talk about a momentum swing. Like Montgomery Catholic had seized the momentum even after punting the ball, but the razzle-dazzle, the misdirection.
Beautiful play. Exactly what the Dragons needed at that moment.
Future Ones is an Alabama-based company dedicated to serving and investing in our local schools and athletes. Support Alabama high school athletics.
Sumerian Franklin, quarterback, center of your screen, wearing number 1. Talking to her teammates and setting up this 1-point conversion. Try to go up by a full touchdown. Whitney Toole looks on. We await the 1-point play. Delay of game call against Wenonah. So too much checking to the sideline. Everybody trying to get set. And this will make things a little more challenging. So after the timeout, Cedric Lane not happy. After talking things over, and they're going to back it up. So instead of working there from inside and close, they'll back things up 8 yards from that goal line. Make things a little more tough. Or challenging, I should say, for Wenonah.
Yeah, and with the way this has gone, I know Catholic would love to stop this right as they go into halftime.
3 Knights across the goal line. Sumerian Franklin trying to split the defenders, but right there with a textbook pull, Anna Russo. 5 seconds left. But Wenonah, it's the way to answer, and answering on special teams, leading 12-6 after starting out with a touchdown drive of their own. It was Montgomery Catholic was able to answer with a long sustained drive, and just when you thought it was safe and we'd be tied, heading into the locker rooms, Dragons answering. So 5 seconds left here. Just going to hand the ball off. A flag pull as Ann Cobb got about 7 on that play. And that will be the final play of this first half. Wenonah coming up with a huge play on special teams. And leading 12-6 here in the 1A through 5A Flag Football State Championship game. For more, Christina Chambers standing by with head coach Cedric Lane.
Coach, you guys were able to score in your opening possession. Your offense kind of struggled there a little bit. What do you need to do to sustain drives on offense?
The rush is giving us a problem. We got to just do better executing on offense. Got to find what we need to be running and just execute a little bit better.
How important was it Kiera Clark's touchdown on special teams to end the half right there?
That was ring staff, secured ring staff. But it was big. That was huge. Huge special team play.
All right, Coach. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
So, Jacaria Ringstaff, that's 2 touchdowns on the afternoon. 1 receiving, 1 with a handoff. This handoff that put Wenonah back out in front. We're back to Tuscaloosa. The Super 7 continues.
For over a game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal. Without your presence, high school sports and the performing arts aren't possible. Ensure that these essential extracurricular activities continue to enrich the lives of students in Alabama. Purchase a ticket to your local high school's game or performance.
This message presented by the AHSAA.
When driving, share the road, not a post. Bad. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation. When driving, wear a seatbelt, not a filter. What? Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Hi, I'm Wayne Reed, Executive Director of Alabama Public Television. We're excited to carry live coverage of the Super 7 High School Football Championships for a second year, allowing everyone in Alabama to see these games. This broadcast is made possible by several generous sponsors, but now I'd like to ask for your support as well. Your gift can help APT tell more great Alabama stories and create new educational opportunities. Call 1-800-239-4000 or give online at aptv.org.
Change lives and achieve your professional goals with a rewarding career at the Alabama Department of Human Resources, the state's provider of social services in all 67 counties. Join our hardworking team that positively impacts the lives of children and families across Alabama. Speak to a recruiter by calling 334-242-1780 or emailing recruitment@dhr.alabama.gov.
Hi, I'm Wayne Reed, Executive Director of Alabama Public Television. We're excited to carry live coverage of the Super 7 High School Football Championships for a second year, allowing everyone in Alabama to see these games. This broadcast is made possible by several generous sponsors, but now I'd like to ask for your support as well. Your gift can help APT tell more great Alabama stories and create new educational opportunities. Call 1-800-239-4000 or give online at aptv.org.
Late in the second quarter by Wenonah has been the difference so far. Welcome back, everyone, here on APT. I'm your host, Kevin Skarbinski, joined by 2 championship coaches. We met Bill Clark before the game, now joined by Coach Jack Crow as well. Coach, glad to see you here.
Glad to be here. Glad to be here and enjoying what we're seeing.
Coming back now.
You mentioned the skill level that we're seeing among these girls. I talked to Alvin Briggs, the executive director of the Alabama High School Athletic Association. He said now more than 100 schools in the state are sponsoring flag football.
And they're getting athletes because there's athletes all over this field. And you know, eye-hand coordination, foot speed, agility, just all the elements that Coach and I used to look for, you know, and sign the scholarships. It's going on out here.
Yeah, you see just on that last return, I mean, just great speed, just running form, you know, old track coach here and strength guy. So you look at these really good athletes. You talked about crossover athletes. I love to hear about crossover athletes. You know, that's what we preach about, playing multiple sports and being involved and how they can all feed off each other.
Yeah, the epitome of that, the Wenonah quarterback, number 1, Samarian Franklin. She threw a beautiful touchdown pass right in this corner of the end zone. Great catch by the receiver, got 2 feet down, not just 1. And you see her skill level. She's also the point guard on the basketball team, and they played a game last night.
Right. You know, that comes to another point, the conditioning factor. You know, there's no heavy breathing going on out there. There's nobody bending over and grabbing their legs. I mean, there's a lot of energy, but there's also a lot of really good conditioning because these, you know, this is not standing around and looking. They're moving.
And it's not easy to move the ball. We mentioned before the game, the Montgomery Catholic, they played 20 games. They're 17-3, but they've thrown 15 shutouts.
Well, you can see how well they're coached, you know, and I'm amazed to see how quick they get those flags off, how they react, etc.
All right, we've got to go to a break. Stay with us here. Bryant-Denny Stadium, Tuscaloosa. We'll be right back for the second half of this first flag football championship.
Welcome back in. Halftime just about concluded with Wenonah leading 12-6. Before we get started with the second half of play, we'll send it down to the third member of our broadcast team, Christina Chambers. Christina?
Well, Montgomery Catholic head coach Whitney Toole says that they had a mishap with the punt there in the second quarter, but she says her message to her team was just to keep fighting. She says on offense, they need to stick with what works, and right now that's short passes. And she said we were able to move the ball, and we just need to keep doing what we need to do.
Sounds like a plan. Her demeanor hasn't changed. Whitney Toole, the Knights head coach.
That's right. Calm, cool, and collected every time we get her on camera.
So we get started with this second half. Wenonah with the football, working from our right to our left, wearing the gold and leading 12-6. Samarian Franklin, that ball tipped, almost grabbed, though, out of the air. Is going up to make that tip was Anna Russo, a name that we called throughout the first 2 quarters of play. Is Susan, you take a look at some of those first half stats. Anything that really jumps out to you after going in depth and looking at those 2 teams coming in?
You know, time of possession, it really isn't something that we've touched on yet, but you see there, I've been pretty close in time of possession, which I think is a testament to how close the score is.
Total yards, say a defensive battle, but the yards per play is very, very interesting. And I know that Kevin Skarbinski mentioning this Montgomery Catholic team. There's a fumble, the ball ruled dead right there, but a team that was 17-3, but of 17 of those wins, 15 shutouts.
Wow.
That's hard to do.
It is very hard to do, as we've seen here today.
After the dropped ball in the backfield, bring up third down for Wenonah.
You know, Landrum, I like just how both of these teams are fighting, just fighting with all their hearts. You can tell they both really want it.
Franklin surveys the field. 3 on the play clock. That ball almost intercepted. Anna Russo, who might have started running towards the end zone before she fully had possession. As you take a look at the tip prior to that play, but here on the following play after the fumble, just unable to grab it. She's upset with herself. Her eyes probably got as big as saucers. Looking for a pick six.
Yeah, rough offensive series there for Wenonah. Not the way they wanted to come out of the half.
The good news is the Knights playing outstanding defense on Wenonah's opening drive, and they'll take over on Wenonah's side of the field. Pass into traffic, incomplete. That was Kate Robertson trying to come up with it. Receiver also serves as a defensive back, just a sophomore, but good defense by the Dragons that time.
Wenonah with the answer so far. We'll see if they can continue that momentum.
Yaley Dixon, there you see her in the center of your screen, wearing number 3. Settled in nicely after throwing an interception in that first half. She's got a open wide receiver and going back to number 10, Kate Robertson, and we are tied with 9 minutes remaining here in this third quarter.
Beautiful play there. I love the way the offensive line protected Dixon. Allowed for a beautiful throw downfield.
Put some air under it that time. As you take a look at our replay, nice positioning of the feet. Coming over to try to make the deflection. Misjudging it. And a great throw and catch for the Knights. So they showed the big play capability.
Beautiful execution there.
Trying the 1-point conversion to try to take this lead during the 8-minute mark. Haley Dixon, ball intercepted. SU, Jacaria Ringstaff cannot advance interception or fumble, but Ringstaff once again, have we seen anything that number 6 can't do?
Seems like she can do it all, and she continues to today.
After the failed conversion, tied at 12 as we take one more look at an outstanding throw and catch by Montgomery Catholic. Getting right back in this ball game.
Love to see that celebration. You know, these two very well matched teams we've got here on the field today.
Pass caught, but a quick pull of the flag. It might have been Robertson on the defensive side after scoring the touchdown, right back out there to play defensive back, and it was.
You know, I say these teams have a lot in common. One big difference is just the methodical and almost the slow play call that goes on, you know, very thoughtful on the Wenonah side, and then Catholic with those quick snaps. Two different styles of offense there.
You just kind of glimpse of the Dragons head coach Cedric Lane. His team backed up behind the sticks, and on second down, the pass is complete. Coming across to make the grab. That's Kamaya Williams. First time we've called her name. Wide receiver, wearing number 10. She puts the flag belt back on.
And Haley Mason there with the pull. Way to be there, right where she needed to be.
It's good enough for a fresh set of downs, and across the middle, catch made. Quick pull of the flag, but not before 10. 12 yards on that reception. So we'll take a look at it one more time, and that was Miasia Clark coming across the middle.
If she had made it through that one, she would have been long gone. But again, those Catholic defenders right where they need to be.
Had Ann Cobb, if the pull hadn't been made, for the Knights was in position to save a touchdown. Second down, Marion Franklin looking long. Over shooting an open, wide open, Miasia Clark. That'll bring up third down.
Just watch her avoid the sack here. Pretty aggressive rush there. She gets out of it. Just an overthrow there by the quarterback.
So maybe an opportunity squandered. But never count out this one up. Team is completion made there on the right side, coming over. Sierra Clark.
You know, short play there, but positive yardage. Sometimes when those long throws don't work, go back to that short ground game.
Sierra Clark, cornerback, leads the team in interception on the defensive side, but she can catch the ball on defense. She shows she can catch it on offense. That ball overshot as Samarian Franklin
And
getting a little more air under the ball as opposed to what we saw in the first half. And once again, she had a wide open Dragon receiver, but unable to connect.
I think struggling on that drive with the rush that Catholic and their defense brought.
So the Knights right back at it, trying to break this 12-all tie, approaching the 4-minute mark. A run by Yaley Dixon, showing the wheels. She's shown the arm, but there, why not? Dragons dropped everybody back, and Yaley Dixon took advantage.
We've said it before, but Yaley's a dual threat quarterback, and she shows it there.
Whitney Toole looking on. That's Russo with the catch, and then the flag eventually pulled by Samarian Franklin, but before Russo got to the 35, we'll call it the 25 because of the adjusted lines and an 80-yard field. But that sets up Montgomery Catholic and the Knights with a 3rd down, 5 yards to go as the clock approaches 3 minutes.
Big play here for the Knights. They really want this. They want to convert this.
Wouldn't be surprised if Russo gets the call. They're going to go back to her, but Wenonah was ready for it. They got to know where number 5 is at all times. Coming over, that was Sierra Clark. Nice denial defense and just swatted that ball down with her left hand.
Yeah, good defense there. Very convincing. You know, I talked about Catholic doing it, but Wenonah there, you know, the quarterback rush is key in this game.
4th down. Catholic needs 5. They go down the seam, intercepted. That's Ringstaff. Can she do it again? A touchdown saving pull potentially, and coming over to make that pull, Haley Ishman, but Jakaria Ringstaff, touchdown catch, a punt return touchdown, and the interception here. And anytime she has the ball in her hands, she's already proven she is a threat to take it the distance.
Love the way she reads those quarterback's eyes. She knew exactly where that ball was going, and she put herself in position to make that interception, that big play.
So with under 2 minutes, Ringstaff gets ready to go on the offensive side. Samarian Franklin trying to regain some of that accuracy we saw in the first half. Go end around and a great pull. Coming up to make that pull, Jamie McGuire, the junior rusher.
You know, Landrum, so many of these girls out here on the field playing both sides of the ball. And, you know, from what I can tell, they don't even look tired. I mean, amazing athletes out here on the field today.
It's Ringstaff. Similar to the punt return. They're trying to get Catholic defense going one way. But a nice play by McGuire. Now Franklin has her flag pulled. And that's Anna Russo coming up to make the stop. Bring up 3rd down for the Dragons as we're under 1 minute remaining here in this 3rd quarter. A deadlocked tie at 12 apiece.
Landrum, have you ever played any flag football?
Played a little bit.
Not as easy as it looks, huh?
It's not. Susan, I was a lot faster going east to west than I was north and south.
Okay.
So I
If you say so.
was a rusher. Incomplete. Trying to dump it off short. Franklin, that pass was broken up, and guess who? It was Kate Robertson again.
And we just saw Whitney Toole again, just, no expression on her face. She's leading these girls by example, trying to keep them cool, calm, and collected, and she's doing just that.
Closing seconds. We'll have a punt. Cedric Lane and Wenonah. But not before time expires here in this third quarter. Well, Wenonah had a nice lead at halftime, but it was Montgomery Catholic with the answer on this heave from Yaley Dixon to her teammate Kate Robertson. Final 12 minutes comes up next.
Boring job or an exciting career? Jumpstart your dream career today by enrolling for classes at Wallace Community College in Selma and Demopolis. Develop a 2-year degree plan that is focused on your success. Our fast-track programs are designed to give you the skills you need to get into the workforce fast, and our small class sizes and top-notch educators make sure you get the attention you need to succeed. Fall classes begin August 28th. Build your bridge to a brighter future at Wallace Community College.
The internet. It's how we learn, experience, and connect to the world. But all of that powerful information needs a really powerful home. A data center. Like this world-class facility we invested $600 million to build, right here in Alabama. But keeping the world's information at your fingertips isn't all we do. Our data center supports thousands of jobs. We provide resources to our community and generate more than $1 billion for the state economy. We're doing our part for a better Alabama because Alabama is our home too.
Oh, now this is the life. Who's a good boy? Well, to tell you the truth, it's my humans. They're the ones who made sure to buy me a home with natural gas. The furnace warms like no other. The fire turns on instantly. Whoa. And I'm happier than a beagle in a bacon factory. Oh, that's the spot. And with the money we save on our energy bill, well, I got big plans for that. Visit my website and learn why natural gas is a home's best friend.
Making memories is always a bit sweeter, knowing the water and fish are safe for fishing the day away in beautiful Alabama. For the latest water and fish consumption advisories, visit adem.alabama.gov/waterinfo.
I'm Todd Stacy, host of Capital Journal here on APT. Each week, we cover the stories that matter from your government, whether it's what's happening in the Alabama legislature or the latest from our congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. We bring Alabama's top leaders to you. Be sure to watch Capital Journal Friday nights at 7:30 and Sundays at noon here on Alabama Public Television.
Alabama Public Television is your place for free professional development, curriculum-aligned videos, lesson plans, and more. Explore resources at aptv.org/education.
Welcome back inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium, the start of the fourth quarter, the 1A through 5A Flag Football State Championship. You see it on your screen. We got a tie game, Montgomery Catholic and Wenonah.
What a game we've
12.
got.
Absolutely.
Don't we love to see a close championship game?
Punt from Wenonah, fielded. And on the return, getting it to the far side of the field, Hayden Fitz, but a nice pull and another athletic play by Wenonah on special teams. And that's where we'll see the Knights take over and try to break up this tie.
You know, it all comes down to this for these girls. I mean, the season that they've played, 12 minutes here left to go in this last quarter, and can't wait to see what they plan to do.
Yaley Dixon And a pass caught, and a name that we've called a lot today, Anna Russo. And for more, Christina Chambers, she has more to offer on number 5 wearing the white jersey. Check in with Christina in just a little bit. Pass complete, caught on the far side. There to make the catch, Ann Cobb. Let's take a look. And Kiara Clark, senior defensive back. She and her sister Sierra anchoring things there and locking it down in the Dragons secondary. 3rd down. And just a keeper. This goes directly to Russo. And Russo powers ahead. Plenty for the 1st down, and they'll move the chains. And this drive going exactly, I would suspect, Susan, as head coach Whitney Toole wanted it to go. Eat up some clock. You don't want to give too much time to that explosive Wenonah offense.
So far, so good. Exactly how she would dial it up.
Dixon across the middle. Goes back to Kate Robertson, who was a recipient of that last touchdown that got us to this point.
And once again, good work there by the Catholic offensive line, protecting their quarterback, giving her time to make a play.
9-yard gain on that reception. Every 2nd down. The line to gain is the 30, as you see there on your screen. Once again, an 80-yard long field, 40 yards across, so the goal line is at the 10, so you can follow easily at home. Russo once again across the middle.
Dixon to Russo, that's been the story today. They continue to make positive yardage happen, big plays happen.
Great news for Montgomery Catholic fans. Anna Russo, just a sophomore.
That is great news.
Dump off out of the backfield. That's Carson Hawkins, the senior blocker. First time we've called Carson's name today, but they're all big at this point. 12-12 tie with just over 8.5 minutes left.
Carson got tripped up there, but, you know, still positive yardage. Every little bit counts as Coach Whitney Toole looks on.
But then when I pull it to the side, it's like puffy right here. Yeah, but it don't like on the pictures it looks like really puffy.
Huge 4th down for Catholic. Lee Dixon fires up, almost a sensational grab after the ball tipped up into the air. Double coverage. Kate Robertson almost came down with it on the 2nd attempt.
Yeah, dangerous play here. You know, you got to love them, like we say, leaving it all on the field. Go for the big play. Not able to execute that one.
After a nice drive on his defense, tightens the screws. And the Dragons getting it back on offense. Marion Franklin looking to her head coach. Let's take a look there. Kate Robertson trying to keep everything in front of this Knight defense. Final 7.5 minutes. So we will crown a state champion here in the first of 9 games in 3 days here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. Franklin to the backside, cutting it through the middle. No flag pulled, and finally pulled as everybody kind of standing around looking at one another, and then in disbelief realized that you had a ball carrier without the flag.
Sometimes those flags are hard to pull.
That was Haley Mason coming over to make the pull.
I like Franklin there, keeping her composure, keeping her calm, waiting on the perfect moment to execute that play, make it happen.
Plenty of time to throw as she found her teammate, Michaela Williams. Dragons working on 2nd down. Don't have far to go. Pass is complete. And coming across the middle and having her flag pulled, Kiara Clark. Once again, Haley Mason. There in the middle. Look at Russo. Now Clark. She reattaches the flag belt. 6:18 left, as you see there on your screen. Franklin getting everyone set. The play clock is down to 5. Dragons still having trouble getting set. Better snap the football. Cedric Lane was asking for a timeout. Was he awarded a timeout? I believe he was. The play clock was down to 1, and the Dragons were in danger of being hit with a 5-yard delay of game penalty.
Timeout.
Our Alabama Natural Gas
Wenonah.
Association.
Their first started timeout in the second half.
And Wenonah burning their first in the second half. As we take a look at how these two teams got here and navigated their way through a very tough bracket. Let's take a look at what Wenonah was able to do, and Westminster Christian, that was one of their most formidable tests. This Wenonah Dragon team pretty much had their way through their schedule, and their record would indicate it. And then Montgomery Catholic having to get by Satsuma.
That's right. We got 2 brackets this year. We've got another game actually right after this for the larger schools. And it's worth noting, too, that, we've talked about this is the 3rd year for flag football for AHSAA. Next year, it will become an official championship sport. The trophies awarded today at these trophy presentations, a little bit different design than the traditional blue maps, but going into next year, it will be an official championship sport with an official blue map to be awarded.
Yeah, and immediately following this one, you don't want to miss it. You see there Central of Phoenix City and outscoring their opponents 67-12 out the playoffs. And Vestavia, they've been exceptional as well. That is 2 fun offenses to watch. But right here, we've still got 5.5+ minutes left, and Jacaria Ringstaff, who has been the Dragon that has made Wenonah go, not only defensively, special teams, and offensively as well. And she's accounted for both of the Wenonah touchdowns.
Yeah, really impressed by Ringstaff's effort, second effort. Even, when she's not sure if that flag's been pulled, she keeps going, even if it has. It's really paid off for her team today.
Second down, Franklin. In a deep drop. 8 yards deep. Trying to buy herself some time. She was able to do so and had an open receiver coming to this near sideline in Kamaya Williams, but Williams couldn't hang on.
And good pressure brought there by the Catholic defense, forcing Wenonah to make quick decisions and not always good ones.
So 3rd down coming up for Wenonah. Samarian Franklin. See if she tries to go back to Jacaria Ringstaff. Avoiding the pressure, putting it up. She's got an open receiver, and it's a catch and a pull right there at the 20. But she went right back to Kamaya Williams after the incompletion on the pass on this near side. Kamaya Williams found herself wide open down the seam.
And that is exactly what Wenonah needed at this time. Great clock management there by Coach Cedric Lane.
Middle of the field was the only place the Knights didn't have defended. And paid off. So on 1st down, pitch back to Michaela Williams. Flag is pulled. They're in the backfield. Jamie McGuire, that young lady, she's had an outstanding effort on the defensive side for Coach Whitney Toole.
Let's take a look at the defense here. Way to lay it all out there, put it on the line, get that flag pulled.
2nd down. Dragons need 13 yards to reach the goal line. Franklin dumps it short. It's Michaela Williams. And Williams sprinting towards the outside, trying to catch the edge, but another nice job by Ann Cobb, number 23, to make that pull. And now you have an injured Knight on the field. Hopefully just a cramp, being tended to by 2 of her teammates. Now Whitney Toole and the training staff will head out, check on their injured player. I believe that's Anna Russo.
It's one that they certainly need as time continues to kick down.
It's a little chilly.
So the two teams will converge on their respective sides of the field. Cedric Lane comes out to talk to his Dragons. With a huge third down play coming up. Whitney Toole trying to remedy. Coming up with a stop. Just 2 minutes and 47 seconds left. This game has been spelled out by big plays.
Montgomery Catholic has called their first time out of the second half.
None would be bigger for that head coach, Cedric Lane. Find a way to get into the end zone here.
You know, we talk about this as a non-contact sport, no pads or anything like that, you know, so you assume that there's no injuries from tackle, but these girls, the way that they, you know, express their passion and they lay it out on the field, I mean, they'll go for these flags and sacrifice their bodies. So, of course, still need to be careful all along the way.
Here's a look at Anna Russo. Christina Chambers for more on the very talented number 5, Anna Russo, who's done it on both sides of the ball here today.
Yeah, that's right. They're massaging her right calf on her leg. She is currently out of the game, and she is one player that Coach Toole says is super smart. Her brother plays at Auburn University and is the punter. Coach says that she's been a tremendous addition to the team. She didn't play flag football last year. She played volleyball. So to have her out on this field has been a key part to their success this year.
Well, a key part to the defense for Montgomery Catholic was intercepting the pass of Samarian Franklin. Jamie McGuire. Right now, the play of the day on the defensive side of the ball for Coach Whitney Toole as you take a look here, Susan.
I mean, right when the Dragons think they've got it right where they want it, the Knights strike.
It was Haley Ishman actually came over, the freshman.
A game of momentum shifts for sure.
Playing center field, got between two would-be Wenonah receivers. Secured the football, and now with plenty of time left. 2 minutes. Montgomery Catholic chance to put together a drive and to walk out of Bryant-Denny Stadium for the state championship. Dangerous pass behind the intended receiver. I believe that was Kate Robertson over the middle. And Yaley Dixon couldn't connect. No harm done.
Montgomery Catholic here has, you know, ball's in their court. They've got the ball under 2 minutes to play. And like Coach Whitney Toole's told them this whole time, they need to settle down. They need to focus. They need to execute.
Dixon almost intercepted. Nice defensive play. Coming over to make it was Sierra Clark. He came in today leading that Wenonah team in interceptions with 18. She almost had another one there.
Seeing some emotion here, of course, as this game comes down to the wire, tied up.
Timeout. Montgomery Catholic, their second charge timeout of the half.
Montgomery Catholic, Whitney Toole. She will call a timeout and talk things over with 1:50 left and facing a third down. The line to gain would be the 30. So 9 yards needed for the Knights to move the chains and try to march down the field and claim this 1A through 5A flag football state championship. A reminder, we do have the 6A, 7A state championship battle of two unbeaten, Central Phoenix City and Vestavia Hills getting together. We'll have plenty on that one, but the nightcap tonight, Central Phoenix City taking on Thompson in the 7A. And we've got wall-to-wall action for the next 2 days. And you both, Susan, will be a part of such an outstanding event, whatever the sport, but Super 7, of course, near and dear, especially with how much, not only college football, but high school football and flag football is appreciated now in the state.
That's right. Just what it means to these communities and to the state as a whole. And, you know, how if you're not near Tuscaloosa, can't join us for one of these games, how they're now being broadcast on APT so the whole state can enjoy. I mean, it's really just an incredible atmosphere, an incredible event.
Appreciate our friends at APT. Now the Knights over the middle and getting a hand on it, but unable to hold on. Kate Robertson. So it'll be 4th down. I don't think Whitney Toole going to elect to punt here, and that's what it looks like. Is good to see Anna Russo after the injury back out on the field, as you see there, and getting ready to punt this ball away. Got to be careful here, as the Dragons with several very capable players of running it back. Russo with a high wobbly kick, fielded, bobbled by Samarian Franklin. She's upset with herself. She felt like she had some room to run, and I can't disagree with her. But in flag football, when the ball is dropped, that is where they mark play dead. So 1:35 left for Wenonah. I know we expected a great game, but did we expect 12-12 with 1:35 left?
I don't think I did. And both teams just, you know, a lot of missed opportunity, a lot of big plays, but also a lot of missed opportunities, ones they want to get back. You know, that's what we're seeing here. A couple of drives that didn't end the way that these teams would have liked for them to. But still time on the clock.
Here we go.
And Wenonah with the ball.
It's Marion Franklin. Williams comes in motion. Franklin's going to dump it short. She found a receiver streaking across the 44-yard line. And that was Sierra Clark.
You know, what we've seen from these teams is that they are both capable of big plays, and, you know, a big play doesn't always take very long as the clock continues to wind down.
Wenonah with 2 timeouts left as that pass sailing out of bounds. Good coverage as Ann Cobb came over. And that was Ringstaff. That was the intended receiver, and Ringstaff favoring maybe the left hamstring just a bit. Samarian Franklin looking over at her head coach, Cedric Lane. There's Jamie McGuire, one of those very busy defenders, and trying to keep everything in front of them with this explosive Wenonah offense. Franklin avoids the pressure. Out to the outside as Franklin shows off the wheels. A nice pull. Coming over to make that pull was Haley Mason.
I like Franklin choosing to run there. The Catholic defenders, like we said, they've got to tighten down, contain this Wenonah offense. Under a minute to play.
Fresh set of downs, though. As I mentioned, a couple of timeouts at Coach Cedric Lane's disposal. He doesn't choose to use one here, as the clock is still moving. Franklin a good 7 yards deep, and the shotgun almost intercepted. That ball could have easily been picked off. Frances Rogers, the freshman linebacker, had it in her hands and then dropped it.
Great work there by a freshman, reading the quarterback's eyes, the freshman defender, and being able to go over there and break up that play, get really close to an interception.
Clock does stop after the incompletion. 2nd down for the Dragons. They'll need the 30 to move the chains, but more. So time is of concern. And Michaela Williams, and right after she caught it, she had her flag pulled. There were a couple Montgomery Catholic Knights there converging on the tackle. I think we just called Frances Rogers.
You know, some of our smaller schools,
their second charge timeout of the half.
A bit smaller, but these crowds are loud. They're into it. They're dancing. The bands are playing. These fans are supporting their schools.
Cedric Lane calling timeout. So Wenonah with 1 left. Montgomery Catholic will have 1 left. And today is just the kickoff of an exciting 3 days. The first of 3 games here today. Of course, we mentioned we have the 6A and 7A flag championship following this one. Central of Phoenix City and Vestavia Hills. Those two unbeatens, and then tonight Central of Phoenix City will take on Thompson and try to unseat the reigning state champions. That is going to be everything that everyone anticipates it will be. Then tomorrow, the 3A championship, Mobile Christian and Madison Academy, and then you'll have Coosa Christian, Leroy, and then tomorrow night, Gulf Shores and Ramsey. That'll be a treat. And of course, more action coming up on Friday with 3 games as we conclude. It'll be a fantastic week here in Tuscaloosa. 15 seconds left. The heave knocked away. Beautifully done. And Cobb coming up, not even trying to intercept that ball, just knocking it down to the turf. It'll bring up 4th down and 10 seconds left. Without the miraculous, it would seem, we're headed to overtime.
Love these players not taking their foot off the gas, just being where they need to be, watching that quarterback's eyes, breaking up these plays.
It's Marion Franklin. Behind her is Michaela Williams. She comes over this way. Ringstaff, that was too tall for Jacaria. A flag is down on the far side of the field. We'll see what the call is.
Encroachment. Offense. 5 yards from the previous spot. Remains 4th down. Clock operator, please
have
reset
the
the
1 yard zone, and
seconds.
apparently one of the Wenonah players
Thank you.
was there in that zone. So encroachment is the call, the 5 yard step off, and that will make the unenviable more unenviable.
Their third and final
the
charge,
final
team coming out
timeout
of
was
the
burned
half.
by Cedric Lane and the Dragons. 10 seconds left and trying to devise something, and now with no timeouts to burn, got to be creative here. I don't know if you have a 43-yard play that's drawn up that you've worked on, but I've come to expect the unexpected.
I think we should expect the unexpected, that's for sure. But then again, you know, I mean, with all the football we've got coming up over the next 3 days, we might get some extra football here, so no one will complain about that.
So Cedric Lane talking things over with the Dragons as they get set for this 4th down on the other side of the field. If you're Montgomery Catholic, Whitney Toole, and the Knights, probably just want to keep everything in front of you. If you go prevent defense, if that's applicable here. But certainly trying to prevent against any of those talented wide receivers for Wenonah to get past you. 4 up close. 3 drop back deep. Here we go. Quick pass. That's Ringstaff. Nobody pulled her flag. Jacaria Ringstaff, the flag pulled at the 1 yard line with 2 seconds remaining. Are you kidding me?
Unbelievable. Jacaria Ringstaff, I mean, the playmaker of the game, does it again.
And Cobb reached for the flag. Jacaria Ringstaff with a turn, the athletic play, and it seems almost every big play that we've seen from Wenonah, number 6 has been a part of it. No exception there. 1 second left here in regulation. Wenonah works from the 1.
Eat at Jack's. Can we perform for half?
Are we gonna get home like at a reasonable time?
Like 6:30.
6:30?
You think?
Oh, I don't know.
How long do these last? I think like 3 to.
That is the end of the 4th quarter.
It'll be like an hour, and then like.
We had a tackle on the final play. They went direct snap and went with the run with Michaela Williams. We're trying to sort it out. I'm afraid she might have bumped her head against one of the Montgomery Catholic Knight defenders. As you take a look at Jacaria Ringstaff, and that's what set up that 1st and goal at the 1. She thought she was going to score.
And she almost did.
But a touchdown saving tackle, and then the try from the 1 as you take a look. And unfortunately for Michaela Williams, she's still being tended to and looked like she might have hit her head We certainly hope that she's okay, but they will certainly put her through the protocols and make sure that she is ready to go. Christina Chambers is down on the field, and she will walk us through the rules of flag football overtime. Christina.
That's right. The rules of overtime, they will have the overtime rules, there will be a quick coin toss, and then each team will have 4 chances from the 10-yard line to score. And the first team to do so, whether if it's a touchdown or a field goal, obviously whoever scores a touchdown would win the game. But both teams will get an opportunity from the 10-yard line, 4 tries, just like traditional football rules, and they will have the coin toss here in just a few seconds.
Thank you so much, Christina. Well, how did we get to this point? We played 48 minutes of football, action-packed. We saw a little bit of everything from both of these teams, but it was Jakiria Ringstaff who just came up with that big reception. She got things started.
She sure did. I mean, absolutely unbelievable, explosive plays from Jakiria Ringstaff. That's been the story of this game for Wenonah.
We'll play first return on the misdirection. Ringstaff taking it the distance there. That made it 12-6. But in the second half, you saw the long pass and catch. Yaley Dixon, the quarterback of the Knights, finding Kate Robertson. And then the play that just set up that first and goal from the 1, Jakiria Ringstaff, and a touchdown-saving pull from Haley Ishman, I believe. That got us to overtime, and Christina rolling through the overtime, Susan, as you'll get both teams will have possession of the ball.
First down and 10.
4 opportunities from 10 yards out. Anything can happen, but if you don't like flag football or you're not entertained, I have nothing for you.
Right. I think you should be right now. This is exciting. I mean, basically, we're back to 0-0.
Montgomery Catholic, Whitney Toole. Some last second instructions as Yaley Dixon, her quarterback, they're standing just beyond Coach Toole. And then to the left, there on left side of the screen, Anna Russo, number 5. Who's done a little bit of everything.
You know, I'd love to be a fly on the wall in that huddle. You know, Coach Whitney Toole telling her girls before this game, play like this is a normal game. But here they are in Bryant-Denny Stadium with the jumbotrons, the screens, the ribbons, you know, all, bands, cheerleaders. This is an exciting environment to play in. They get to use the locker room, the team, you know, the stadium locker rooms at halftime.
It's a big deal.
It is a big deal. And so, you know, hard to settle down, settle those nerves, but that's what they've got to do right here.
Montgomery Catholic here in overtime as we begin. 4 attempts. They spot the ball on the 20, but the goal line is at the 10 if you're just joining us and learning flag football. Pass complete. No surprise, they go right to Anna Russo. She has been a problem at times for that Wenonah defense, and there she found some daylight, found the void.
And, you know, that's what you do in a situation like this. Do what's been working the whole game. By now, you've got a great look at the defenders. You know what works, you know what doesn't. This is time you have to execute. Do what works.
Yaley Dixon looks at the plays. They're on the play card around her wrist. Now Dixon got a throw. Too tall. Almost intercepted. She was going once again for Anna Russo, but you had 2 Wenonah defenders over there to help out. Ringstaff was one of them. I think Clark might have been the other.
Dangerous play there.
2 more opportunities to get it into the end zone for that young lady, Yaley Dixon. Dixon going deep, intended for Riley Wilcoxon, but incomplete. Now 4th down.
Catholic didn't do themselves any favors on that overthrown ball.
See what Whitney Toole draws up here. Fourth down and goal. Montgomery Catholic has to score. Put it up in the end zone. Tipped around out of the back of the end zone. Incomplete. Great coverage in defense. You had 4 gold jerseys back there. Couldn't tell who got the initial hand on it, but knocked out of bounds. That's all Cedric Lane is concerned with.
That's right. That became a jump ball back there.
Now his Dragons on offense will have 4 downs to try to get it into the end zone and 10 yards to go. Samarian Franklin, his quarterback, wearing number 1. Comes back out onto the field. It's Kamaya Williams, wide receiver, lines up to the top of the screen, to the bottom, Jakaria Ringstaff. I don't need to tell you any more about Ringstaff. Franklin had her flag pulled eventually. Thought it was going to be the initial defender that stepped up, and that was Jamie McGuire, but she was able to get an extra 4 yards.
Good awareness on the field there from Franklin as she tiptoed down the sidelines and got every yard that she could possibly, every inch that she could possibly get on that play.
Michaela Williams, after having her contact with her head on the final play of regulation, not on the field, and that's certainly a weapon lost. Samarian Franklin right there in the middle. Anna Russo there to pull the flag. It'll bring up 3rd down, and we'll call it 4.
Both teams keeping their composure. They know what's at stake here.
They're down in 4 from the 4. Here in overtime of this 1A through 5A Flag Football State Championship. Samarian Franklin. Direct snap. Are they going to rule her short? There was a flag pulled, and they will say 1 yard shy of the goal line. 4th down coming up.
Here's the replay. See where that flag gets pulled.
Deasia Clark thought she was in, but the referee right on top of it.
It all comes down to this.
Franklin. Daylight. She's in. Wenonah. Your class 1A through 5A state champions and getting it done in overtime.
Love the celebration. Love the fans. Love the hugs.
A 4th down play. They needed it in regulation and couldn't get it done. But they find a way in overtime. You should take a look one more time. Samarian Franklin.
Love that last-minute decision to run.
Well, there is triumph on one side of the field, unfortunately. That brings sadness and dejection to that Montgomery Catholic Knight squad, but can't say enough about not only what we saw on display today, but the season that the Knights and head coach Whitney Toole have had.
And how about just the fight and the grit that both of these teams displayed today? I mean, all the way from the first play through overtime. I mean, these girls wanted it. They fought for it. I mean, this is what it's all about.
It certainly is. We will have a trophy presentation and visit with the head coach. Another state championship for Cedric Lane, this time in flag football. Christina Chambers standing by with the winning head coach.
Coach, an exciting ending to this one. What can you say about the fight that your team showed to win this one in overtime?
They were hungry. They were very hungry. You know, they played to the end. They fought through adversity, and they weren't going home without a win today.
Talk about Ringstaff and just the big plays she made for you guys to be able to bring home the state championship.
She's been making plays all year. Such a great athlete, great young lady. I'm so proud of these girls, man. They did everything we have to do. They fought their butts off.
Coach, you win some in basketball, you win one in girls flag football. What does this one mean to you?
It means a lot. It's the first one to bring back to the city. and bring back to the Wenonah community. You know, that's what we're about, winning championships, and I'm just glad to be a part of it.
Congratulations, Coach.
Thank you.
Another state championship for Cedric Lane and the Wenonah Dragons. Will have a trophy presentation and much more as we return to Tuscaloosa after this.
Driving, click the seatbelt, not the like button. Mom is right. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation. When driving, tap the brakes, not the like button. No. Alabama has a code of the road, and knowing it helps you follow it. This is a message from your Alabama Department of Transportation.
Everyone knows what the big man wants. Yep, bacon. Jax is bringing a sleigh load of bacon to its southern favorites. There's the big BLT, chicken BLT, and our bacon double cheeseburger. It's a bacon wonderland out there.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Alabama, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Alabama Public Television is your place for quality educational services. Free professional development for educators and child care providers. Access to free curriculum-aligned videos, lesson plans, and instructional resources with PBS Learning Media. And all the PBS Kids programs parents know and trust. Learn something new every day with Alabama Public Television. Visit us at aptv.org/education to learn more.
Hi, I'm Wayne Reed, Executive Director of Alabama Public Television. We're excited to carry live coverage of the Super 7 High School Football Championships for a second year, allowing everyone in Alabama to see these games. This broadcast is made possible by several generous sponsors, but now I'd like to ask for your support as well. Your gift can help APT tell more great Alabama stories and create new educational opportunities. Call 1-800-239-4000 or give online at aptv.org.
Asking tough questions to those in power.
Should Democrats supply their votes if it means avoiding a government shutdown?
Do you see more of a benefit to your nation's relationship with Russia or with the U.S.?
All the homes are gone, all the buildings are gutted.
And covering events as they unfold.
What goes through your mind when you see fire that close to your home?
Oh my God, am I gonna die?
Tonight at 10 on Alabama Public Television.
Add to an exciting 3 days that we expect here inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium, the 1A through 5A Flag Football Championship. 18-12, Wenonah winner. Victorious head coach Cedric Lane. He had a couple of blue maps in boys basketball. He picks up a flag football state championship as he is there being awarded with the ball. Whitney Toole there on your right, the head coach of Montgomery Catholic and the Knights. The Knights finishing 17-4. But Wenonah, the Dragons, the unbeaten season continuing, and what a performance. And we got the drama and everything that we expected in 48-plus minutes, Susan Carruthers, of flag football here today.
We got more than we expected, that's for sure. We got a great game. We got overtime, and we see here the trophy presentation. Again, a little bit different design from the traditional blue map. Starting next year, flag football will be an official championship sport for AHSAA, and they will receive a blue map. But all the same excitement nonetheless. Another state championship for Coach Cedric Lane.
Hardware is hardware, and it's heading back to Birmingham for the Wenonah Dragons. We appreciate everyone joining us here in the first of three that we have on the opening day of competition here inside of Bryant-Denny Stadium. Coming up next, we'll have Estavia in Central of Phoenix City for the 6A, 7A Girls Flag Football State Championship. From all of us to all of you, thanks for joining us. We continue our coverage here on APT, your home for AHSAA and the Super 7.
game without a crowd is just a scrimmage. A performance without an audience is just a rehearsal.